Welcome everybody once again to the Quiet Show. My name is Jermaine J. Lane. So today, I'm going to talk about something fairly personal. October 2019, the time was according to me last year, spilling into November 2019, I was in a very deep depression. I was working and currently work at a psychiatric hospital. I go to work, take care of my patients, do my job, but internally, I was very depressed. So these are things that helped me work through it. That's what I'll talk to you about today. First up is Godzilla. So for context, when I was a little boy, I was very sick. I had asthma very badly. I was just sick constantly. I was raised at the time by my great-grandparents, my great-grandmother, who were called Gigi, and her husband, Mr. Harvey. So, when I was a little boy, very sick, Friday nights grew up in Halifax County, Virginia. Friday nights, after midnight, they would show Godzilla movies. So, Gigi, hardcore, very conservative, church-going old woman, loved her some Godzilla, King Kong, all the Universal monster movies, that sort of thing. So Friday nights, when I'd be really sick, we'd stay up late watching Godzilla movies. I mean, Mechagodzilla, King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra, all of it. So last year, when I was struggling, started watching a lot of Godzilla movies. And oddly enough, it helped me work through it. I don't know, it was a callback to my youth, perhaps. The fact that I love Godzilla and Godzilla movies was one of the things that helped me to work through things I was going through. Two was Moon Knight. For context, Moon Knight is a Marvel Comics character. Mark Spector is a mercenary, and he was on assignment in, I believe, Egypt. He was betrayed by a friend and murdered. Khonshu, the Egyptian moon god, brought Mark Spector back from the dead to be his avatar of justice and to protect those who travel by night. Mark Spector became the Moon Knight. Interesting fact, Mark Spector has dissociative identity disorder, DID, or commonly known as multiple personality disorder. So there's Mark Spector, his primary identity. Another identity is Jake Lockley, and another identity is Stephen Grant. Also, Mark Spector has schizophrenia. All those things combined make up what Mark Spector is. However, he's still a superhero, still fights crime, still goes out there to protect people and do the right thing, to do what needs to be done. Moon Knight is one of the few characters in Marvel, DC, Image, etc., one of the few comic book characters who, how can I put it, primarily has a mental illness, and that's part of the story. So I read a lot of Moon Knight October and November last year. Wasn't necessarily planning on it, didn't necessarily mean to, same with the Godzilla movies, but ended up reading a lot of Moon Knight, and it helped me. I don't know, it was because seeing in print and reading the stories of somebody who had an internal struggle, internal mental illness they were battling internally, but also in the midst of that struggle, serving people, serving the community, protecting people, distributing justice when justice needed to be served, etc. It helped. And the third thing that helped me work through my depression was heavy metal. So, ever since I was a young lad, I always loved music, a musician to this day. And one of the primary genres of music I love is rock and roll and heavy metal. I love the guitar, the bass, the drums, the double drums, the beat. You can feel it. You feel it in your chest. And primarily most rock and heavy metal songs are songs of substance. There's a story there. The songwriters, the musicians are putting a lot of emotion and passion into what they're singing about, what they're playing about. They're putting their all into their music. And it's not necessarily for to be played on the radio, for awards, for recognition. They're doing it for the sake of the art, for the sake of getting their emotions, their passion, whatever they're talking, getting their story out there. And I listen to a significant amount of heavy metal in particular, and I recommend these 5 albums: Kill Switch Engage, End of Heartache; Kill Switch Engage, As Daylight Dies; Korn, The Nothing; Skillet, Victorious, and what's another one I listen to a lot? And In This Moment. These 5 bands and those albums in particular helped me work through my stuff, helped me to scream it out, to cry it out, to roar it out. And by mid-November, internally, I was feeling better. I'm the type of person, and maybe you are as well, that I can put on the mask where it's all smiles and I go about my day, go about my job, doing what needs to be done. And the mask is all smiles and laughing and joking and cutting up, but inside is a thunderstorm. Inside here is raining. Inside here is just pain and turmoil. But I make a point not to let that shine through. We can argue whether that's good or bad, or we can argue it's something to work on. We can argue when to just let the mask down and just be vulnerable. Perhaps with my job, necessarily might not be the best thing in the world at work. However, I am very adept at wearing the mask. But the 3 things I mentioned, Godzilla movies, Moon Knight, and heavy metal, these 3 things helped bring me out of my depression. There are things that will help you as well, things that you use, techniques you may use as well. I would love to hear about it. So, that concludes today's episode. My grandfather was a bishop for about 139 years, and he would end his sermons the same way I'm ending today's episode. May peace be unto thee, may peace be glorified, and y'all have a great day.